Well, thanks for tuning in. This is Matt Santos of The Mile High Show. You're listening to, I don't know what episode this is. Let's try 223. And it should come as no surprise to anybody who knows me or who's listening to this. I'm a complete idiot. Now, my bird agrees. He's chirping in the background there. I recorded this episode about a week ago, and we rushed out to do it. Matt Hinshaw and I, Matt Hinshaw of the Real Film Nerds podcast, to beat the Oscar deadline, because the Oscars took place this past Sunday. So we recorded at Mark's Beer Garden on Thursday night, so you'll hear a lot of noise in the background, some folks enjoying some food and beverage, and some great music by Marko Donnelly, who was playing there that night. We just wanted to talk movies and Oscars. Now, in reality, it was just an excuse to get together with Matt Hinshaw. Great friend of the show, friend of mine. We haven't sat and talked for a while because of our work schedules, and they've been very hectic, and he's a real film nerd, thus the name of the podcast that he hosts, Real Film Nerds, where you can also hear him every Monday morning on the Lisa LaChapelle Dando show on Magic 99 here in Prescott, Arizona. And online, he reposts the clips that he does there. He goes in every Monday to talk about the movies he's seen and other pop culture stuff from the week before. So he is featured there every Monday, which is a lot of fun to listen to, so check it out. It's one time when you can hear Matt talk for 10 minutes without swearing, which, you know what, I think there's one in here. I haven't got rid of it yet. I don't even remember where it is. We'll see. I don't remember. I don't know. I haven't even posted it. I haven't even edited it together yet. But anyway, this was a reason for me and Matt to get together because we haven't seen each other in a long time. So we talked movies that he has seen, and quite frankly, I haven't seen any of the Oscar contenders, still haven't. So it's more of Matt telling you his thoughts on the movies, and then we go off on some tangents like we normally do. But I wanted to get it done so you could hear his picks for the Oscars before the Oscars. Now, then I went to work Friday morning, and I've basically been at work since. Some 16 and longer hour days. It's been really hectic. So, you know what? I didn't get it posted, but, who cares? So you're going to listen to his picks, and you're going to find out that he was actually pretty close, especially on his best picture guess. So sit back and enjoy my conversation from Mark's Beer Garden with Matt Hinshaw of the Real Film Nerds. And don't forget, depending on when you're listening to this, I'm recording this intro on February 12th. Tomorrow night, February 13th, and the second Thursday of every month, we are hosting a mixed open mic night at Plaza Bowl in Prescott, Arizona. The address there it's over by Thumb Butte, not the bowling alley in Prescott Valley that is more frequently attended by the public out here. This is Plaza Bowl, 127 Plaza Drive in Prescott, Arizona, the second Thursday of every month. All radio and family-friendly content, comedy, music, storytelling, whatever you want to do. Starts at 7, sign up at 6:30, runs a couple hours. It is a lot of fun. We basically take over that lounge. 21 and under, okay, as long as you got a parent or guardian. They've got some great food and drink specials for us while we're there, and it's a lot of fun. Come over, tell a joke or two, sing a song, do a dance. We don't care. Whatever you want to do to highlight your talent and have a good time doing it. We are also doing a one-time event. We're hoping to turn it into a every couple of months, quarterly, or maybe every month. It depends on how the crowd turns out in Chino Valley on February 22nd. That will be taking place at El Paraiso. I don't know how to say it. Just show up. The flyer's there at milehighshow.com. The link to our social media. It's all over Facebook and our Instagram accounts. It is El Paraiso Mixed Open Mic, February 22nd. It's a Saturday and an early show. We're starting it at 5 o'clock. Sign-ups, 5:30 showtime. Same thing, family friendly. All ages are welcome. Food and drink specials going on. A free show. All of these are free shows. So come on in, do whatever your talent, you want to highlight your talent, or just sit back and enjoy the show. It's going to be a lot of fun. El Paraiso, February 22nd on a Saturday starting at 5:30, and then the second Thursday of every month at Plaza Bowl in Prescott. All of these are free. All of these are family-friendly. So show up, have a good time, and sit back and enjoy my conversation with the not-so-family-friendly Matt Hinshaw of The Real Film Nerds, recorded at Mark's Beer Garden. So we're sitting at the far end of the bar together, the only two guys sitting here, and we have to sit super close so we can hear each other. This is cozy. That's Marko Donnelly playing in the background at Mark's Beer Garden. So we were going to have a podcast over at Park Plaza Liquor, and their wait was long, and their staff was busy, so we came over to Mark's Beer Garden.
They're becoming way, way, way too popular.
Yeah.
Is it recording? I didn't see my thing flick. Okay.
Yeah, it is. Oscar weekend. I got the film boy himself, Matt Hinshaw. Plug away.
The
podcast,
the real,
website,
real,
everything.
Real film nerds. Real.
Is that your echo chamber?
I'm trying here. Jesus. Don't hate me.
All right, where can folks find you?
RealFilmNerds.com, at Real Film Nerds on the Instagrams, the Twitters, the Facebooks, all the social medias, the usual places. If you need a photographer, call Matt Santos, MSP Photography, because I'm done.
I'm retired.
I'm retired too.
I'm retired. Now, we're sitting at a bar. I have not had a drop of alcohol since October, early October, with the whole intention of, well, you know, Maddie knows, my sleep patterns are way out of whack. And I'm just waking up every day drained. And we were at Raven.
You're literally the only person I've met in my entire life that sleeps worse than me. And I'm really bad.
We were at Raven for one of I think the September Thursday Night Spectacular, which happens the third Thursday of every month, where you can hear musicians like you hear in the background here. Marko Donnelly pops in every once in a while. Hosted by Dan Seaman, poet, bon vivant, musician, jack of all entertainment and wordsmith trades, Mr. Dan Seaman. But it was that September show. I think, the third weekend in September. I had like half a beer and woke up feeling like garbage.
You sure it wasn't the October one?
Was it October? Yeah, it was.
I think it was the October one because I remember it being right around my birthday.
Well,
so
I'll tell you when.
It doesn't matter. You don't have to look.
No, I want to know because
hell,
I know the exact date. I just woke up feeling like garbage. So I figured I thought I was getting sick. I'm going the wrong way. I'm an idiot. Yeah. October 17th.
Yeah, because it was
right
before Mike came out.
I thought I was getting sick. So I said, you know what? I'm not going to drink for a couple. I wouldn't drink a lot, but I just did. I figured because when I'm going to get sick, I go hard down where I can't. I'm like stuck in bed, lose my voice, stuck in bed for 2 or 3 weeks. When it gets bad, and I thought I was getting sick. And I didn't get sick.
I don't even think it was a beer. I think it was a cider.
I don't remember.
It doesn't matter. It's still the same alcohol content.
So like a week goes by and I still felt bad. I figured I'll give it another week, then another week, and then another week. I figured with trying to get more sleep, guzzling herbal tea like crazy, not eating a bunch of garbage, not having any alcohol, no drinks at all for a month. I figured a couple weeks I'm going to start feeling better. I am feeling worse as time goes by and sleeping worse.
How many pots of coffee are you drinking a day?
I cut way back. I'm down to Well, I got big cups, but like half a pot. What I'll do, this is what I do. I make a pot, and then when I leave, there's usually about a half of a pot left, and I leave that, and then the next day, depending on weather. Oh, thank you.
Oh, look, food's here.
The other one will be out.
Yes.
I can still order it. I gotta make it again.
Oh, damn it. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm so complicated. I know.
I was just telling Jimmy, you special order at fast food, so.
Hell
you
yeah,
know
I
this
do.
is- yeah.
I make them earn their damn minimum wage since it's so high now. They're almost making what I make. Jesus.
They make more than I make.
Yeah, this.
But they got to wear, paper hats and get up in the morning. So, so anyway, I just been feeling like garbage, just tired and drained, and I'm not sleeping well. I don't know what it is, and I'm feeling so achy. I think that I should just get some of that Jameson cold brew, like a fifth of that.
I want to try that. It looks tasty.
looks really
the
good.
coffee flavored one.
What's
yeah.
that one that you got at your house that I got at Liquor Barn in Chino?
It's like a stout. It's the
No,
cask.
but what is it? I forget what it was called. It was really
It was
good.
it's called like cask mates, like
Yeah, it was really good.
CASKMATES.
And then, because I'm not going to put the microphone down, that sound is my chips.
He's
Salt
got
and
an
vinegar.
oversized bottle of regular Jameson over here. You just have that with a straw.
Yeah, they're good chips. What's that?
He's asking us if it's between us.
No way. He
don't
don't
hear
get to touch.
anything.
He doesn't get to touch my food.
No, I don't like him at all.
Hey, it's Marko on TV.
Yeah. And Garrick will be back up soon.
Yeah, Garrick, that long-haired hippie.
Jeez.
Okay, Maddie. So
Yes,
this
sir.
is Oscar weekend. You are the resident film nerd and movie buff and movie historian in my group of friends. Anyway,
Make sure to tune into Lisa Live on Magic 99.1 every Monday. I'm on between 8:30 and 9:15. It depends
Yeah.
if she has other guests or not.
yeah, doing your movie review. This week you did a Super Bowl review.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about the Super Bowl, and then we
Talked
talked about a
about the,
movie. Yeah,
The filthy things that were running through your mind with low camera angles. I listened.
it was delightful. Well, I could tell the joke here. I just wasn't going to tell it on the radio. And
Radio friendly. What are you talking about?
I told Lisa, well, it's not that bad. I said that I've seen naked people with more clothing on than Jennifer Lopez. So I was like, maybe it's a little bit much.
Yeah. All right, let's start. We'll start with. Oh, thanks. I was looking for napkins. We'll start with.
What would you like to know, sir? Am I
we're
going to watch the Oscars on Sunday? Initially, I was going to say no, but I'm probably going to now just because they're not having a host again. Thank you.
They're not doing a host?
No, they're not doing a host again, so this is 2 years in a row with no host. And so I'm interested to see how that goes.
How'd it go last year? Did you watch it?
Yeah, it went well, and that's why I watched last year, because normally I don't watch it because I don't honestly care.
Yeah.
I like to see who wins, but I don't need to watch a 4.5 hour long show to see who wins.
So what do you typically just like get to go online later or in the
I hit it the
wherever
next day.
and
just
see
look
the list.
who won.
Yeah.
So this year I think I'll probably watch it because I know Lisa will probably want to talk about it.
Okay, so
But
well, let's back up a little bit. We'll get into media. You watched the Super Bowl. I did not. What was your take?
I watched parts of the Super Bowl. I was racing around town going to 3 different Super Bowl parties, so that was interesting.
I didn't go to any because I don't have any friends and nobody invited me over. So we watched. We ate pizza at Aroma Pizza in Chino Valley and watched for about 10 minutes, and then I went home and cried
That seems
All
like a
alone.
good time to me.
all alone.
I probably should have just gone to one because, as my new girlfriend said, I'm too nice and can't tell people no. So,
New girlfriend. He did not put the air quotes during that because this is actually
She
a
does
human.
exist. I proved
this is
it to ya.
Actually, a human woman that Matt is dating. Stacy is her name.
Yeah.
Let's out her.
And she always keeps calling me and texting me every day, hey, the check bounced again. The check bounced again. And I'm like, well, Sorry.
You realized what you just called your girlfriend, right?
Well, she just came over for that one night.
You realized
only to
you
prove
just
that,
gave me
you know.
another 5 minutes.
At least. I mean, just tag it on to the other 45 you did last time. God.
I'm going to have a chat with her and let her know what you just called her.
Well, what's funny is you think that we hang out and text and know each other. I just hired her for that one night. She was just a normal person. Name was made up. Everything was made up.
That was not a normal person. Anyway, so what did you think of
So
what
mean.
you did see?
It was good.
Yeah.
It was okay. I'm not a huge football guy.
When we were watching,
So-
when we caught part of it, we went out with a friend of mine to eat.
Well, I'm just shocked because isn't Sandra a 49ers fan?
Yeah, kind of. But, I mean, I haven't seen a pro game in years. I was telling Stockmar, I saw Steve Stockmar a couple weeks ago, and we were talking about the Super Bowl. He was asking if I was going to go somewhere and watch it. And I told him the last time I saw a Super Bowl was probably the last time I saw a professional football game, and that was when he had us all over at Wild Wings long before he moved.
Yeah, that was
probably
fun.
6 years ago.
Well, because he used to throw
Yeah.
some of the most fun Super Bowl parties I've ever been to. Steve always had a good Super Bowl party, but the last couple of years he was in town. He was, issues, things like that, and just decided to go to Buffalo Wild Wings. Said it'd be easier. He didn't have to clean it up.
For anybody listening, Steve Stockmar was the former sports editor, and then for a while, wasn't he city editor?
Yeah, he did
at
city
the
editor for a
Daily
couple of years,
Courier
I
here
think.
in Prescott at the local paper.
She's looking at you funny.
Get in line.
Get in line.
What? Now she's throwing silverware. No. I got a chance to see him. He lives down in the valley now in Phoenix area, and so we were chatting the other day. That you know what? I'm going to talk about that show a little bit. He came down to see me do some stand up at the Lounge in Phoenix, which is a regular Wednesday night show. That is typically a good mix of some good feature acts and some of the Phoenix comedy royalty, and some good folks that I know. And I've been trying to get on that show for a little bit, and the booker, Matt Broom, hit me up and said, hey, I got a spot if you want to come on a couple weeks ago, and I couldn't. So he let me come on the following week, which was last week, and then I saw the lineup, and it was just jam-packed with headliners and real strong features and national touring guys. And out of the 13, 14 of us on the list, I was like the only one who isn't a club regular, and I was way intimidated, man. I did all right. It was
You
fun.
still got to go up, though. And you went up last? Did you go up last like you liked?
Second to the last. But no,
Steve
I
get
was
to
just
see you, or did he have to leave?
he left long before I went.
Well,
was
he had
only-
to get his daughter, yeah.
Yeah, he was only up there for about an hour, and he got there a little before the show, so he left soon after it started. But yeah, that was definitely not my best outing, but it was fun. I was glad, I was on the show with some real heavy hitters, so. But it was fun. So did not watch the game, but when we did catch part of the Super Bowl, it was like Chiefs were up, I think, like 17-10 or something like that. It was like a set. It wasn't even
I think that
close.
was the second half, yeah.
No, that was before halftime.
Oh, okay.
Because then the Niners came back and took the lead.
Yeah,
I
they came
saw
back.
this later on the highlights, but then the Chiefs came back with their comeback and won it. But the Niners had a strong third.
Oh, yeah, the Striners, it was a good game. Overall, it was a good game. It was not a blowout. I was afraid it was going to be a blowout.
Yeah.
Really high scoring, just not fun game, and it wasn't. It was at least close, which makes for a good game.
Nice.
And I won one of my pools, so I got a little bit of money.
Okay, so dinner tonight is on The Real Film Nerds.
Sponsored by the Real Film Nerds podcast.
Okay, let's talk films.
Popcorn and $2 drink refills at Harkins because they raised the damn thing another 50 cents. Jeez.
All right, well, that brings up my first round of questions. How many movies have you seen this year?
Oh, dude, you want to go there?
Yep.
Oh, okay, hold on.
And I'm not talking theater. I'm talking overall because I know you do some older films, some that are online.
I gotta look it up because I use an
Pull it
app.
up.
It's called Letterboxd. If anybody wants to follow me on there, It's pretty sweet. You can track all your films. It's like a social media for film, but it's more like for tracking and writing reviews and stuff. And so anytime I watch a film, even if it's Netflix or on TV and I've seen it 100 times, I tracked it in Letterboxd because I was honestly interested to see how many movies I really watch.
So we're talking. How can you break it up? Can you break it down from January to December?
Yeah, they did tell you the whole year, and so I just got to try and find it.
You asked me this, and now I can't remember the number. We were talking about this right around the first of the year.
Here it is. All right. See,
and no, don't say it yet.
Think the power of reviewing. Okay.
So this was my guess when you asked me.
How many do you think? How many do you think?
Well, we already went through this, so I'm just going to give you how I came up with my number, and I don't remember what my number was, but I think I was within like 20 or 30 when I did guess. When I figured 52 weeks a year, you see on average at the theater 1 to 2 a week. At the theater,
yeah, it's been toned down to 1 a week.
Well,
for the theater,
but then there are certain times with the work you do with the because you work your 9 to 5 Monday through Friday, but then nights and weekends, various times of the year, as the Northern Arizona Suns G League basketball team photographer and the Rattlers of the Arena Football.
I get real busy.
Yeah. So there are weekends when you're on the road or when you are when you're shooting games. So I think depending on time of the year, it goes from 2 at a theater to 1.5 per. So that's 52, 75 at the theater, 80 at the theater. I'm just rounding up. 80 at the theater. You don't do like I do when I'm locked into a computer. I kind of veg half of my mind by streaming movies or watching them on my tablet or phone while I edit and stuff. And I know you listen to a lot of things.
I usually listen to podcasts or music.
Yeah, so I think I in that point when you're on the computer, you're not necessarily watching movies like I do. And that's usually the only time I do watch movies is when I'm sitting there. So I'm going to say another 1.5 of streaming, YouTube, Netflix, whatever your Amazon. So that would put us up from 80 to another 1.5, another 80, say 160. And then let's take into some bad weather or trips down to your folks or your sisters, wherever. You might catch a couple down that way. I'm going to say, and I don't remember what my other guess was, I'm going to say in a 52-week year, 205 movies.
And you're actually high by almost 100.
No.
Yep, according to Letterboxd. And like I said, I did track over the year of 2019. I did 133 films, which is 285 hours.
I think when I guessed before, I think I was under by about 20.
I think you were under, yeah.
Which is why, since I knew I was under, I was kind of going higher this go around. That's still a grip load of movies. So, as you review...
That's what I watch. Instead of watching TV when I'm home, instead of watching news, granted, I used to watch a lot of news, but I put on a movie.
Yeah.
Or if a movie's on, I'll watch the movie, even if I've seen it 100 times. It's just what I like.
So you're 100 and how many?
133.
130.
For 2019,
130. Out of those, how many were first run, like theater?
Oh, I have no idea. Probably at least half, if not more.
Have you seen all the Best Picture contenders?
Yes. And Mike and I have reviewed most of them. Not all of them, but most of them as they came out.
So, give me, I don't know, do you have the list memorized or do you know what they are?
Well, I can pull it out of my head, but I know all of them.
We're just going to concentrate
because I looked it up.
Yeah, we're just going to concentrate on the Best Picture category. What do you got? What are the categories? I mean, what are the nominees?
And before I was even doing the podcast and super crazy into the films, I still tried to make it a point every year to see, at minimum, the Best Picture nominees every year. This year, that's a lot. There were 9. But like I said, I saw most of them as they came out.
Okay.
So here's the order. Ford versus Ferrari.
And I haven't seen any of them.
The
so we're
Irishman,
both going to make our predictions.
The Irishman, Jojo Rabbit, Joker, Little Women, Marriage Story, 1917, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Parasite. I believe that's all of them.
Okay.
Now, I'll start it off this way. What I want to win, what I would really like to see win, but I know
No, we're gonna go a little different route.
Okay. All
Okay,
right.
so you got those. We got those listed.
Yeah.
Switch gear. Now we're gonna ask for your opinion on the quality of the movies and how they entertained and various things. We're gonna switch gears. Your pulled pork sandwich. Since they can hear us chewing.
Sorry, it's good.
Your pulled
I'm
pork
hungry.
sandwich. Give me a rating on that. What do you rate in what?
Reels?
Reels. 5?
I go, 1 to 5. Yeah, we don't do zeros. And we do have half reels, so
Okay. How many reels for the sandwich?
I'll go with, I haven't finished it, though, but I'll go with a good 3.5 reels. It's a good sandwich.
I got the burger here at Mark's Beer Garden where we're sitting. I got the German style, which is a full grain, whole grain mustard, some sauerkraut, the burger, which I haven't even gotten to yet, and a bun of some kind that's incredible. I'm going, and I'm only going to do this because there is always room for improvement, and I know they do a ton of better food, of good food here. I'm going to go 4 3/4 reel, 4.5 reels.
4.5, because there's
half.
no 3/4.
I'm going to go 4.5 because I've only eaten the top bun and the mustard and the garnish, the relish, whatever it is, a kraut. It is incredibly good. So I'm waiting to get to that burger part, but it's really good. So the food situation at Mark's Beer Garden is worth coming down for. So
It's
check
delightful.
that out. Now, what is the favored movie in the general media, general public's eye? What's the favorite?
I would say probably the Joker because it has 11 nominations.
Gotcha.
Is it a good movie? Yeah. Is it movie of the year for me? No.
Yeah.
Do
So
I have it on Blu-ray? Yes.
So do you think the Joker's going to pull it?
Well,
Or is that just a fan favorite?
no. The Academy's tough to read.
Yeah.
'Cause I had this discussion the other day, and they were getting offended with this discussion, but it's true. The majority of the Academy Awards are old white men. And one of the films that is Best Picture nominee is Quentin Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is very nostalgic. It is Hollywood in the 60s and 70s. Cars and
Their
they
wheelhouse
love
for the
that
Academy.
stuff. Yeah,
But they haven't been real
love
kind
that
to
stuff.
Tarantino award-wise, have they? Has he gotten any Best Pictures?
I think he's gotten a couple. I know he's gotten the Best Picture nominations. I don't
No,
know
but
if
I don't
he's
think
ever
he's
won.
won anything. They're
I don't.
not-
I can't recall if he's won.
He's almost. It's kind of like when there's a really good action film or a real good comedy. They're usually not in the. They usually don't win because they're almost viewed not serious. And as great a filmmaker as Tarantino is, they don't seem. His movies are very entertaining. So that's almost a strike against him sometimes. And I don't know that he's won anything.
The other factor when it comes to Joker is Joker is a superhero movie.
Yes.
And they don't nominate superhero movies, let
Yeah.
alone vote for one. But Joker
They'll get things
is,
like cinematography,
they'll give action
Options
and
and
CGI, special effects,
CGI,
stuff
special
like that.
effects is what I was thinking. Yeah.
Sound mixing all day
Yeah.
long. But they'll never give a Best Picture, Best Actor, Best Actress supporting ever for a comic book movie.
Yeah.
And Joker, it has nominations in all those.
Nice.
All of them. Now, that's why I say I don't know if Joker's going to get it or not. It might, but I think personally it's probably going to be a Once Upon a Time in
Really
Hollywood.
interesting.
Is what the Academy's going to go for. What I would like to see win is Parasite. Parasite was phenomenal, but there's no way in hell that movie's going to win.
Is that the
It
foreign
is-
language one?
Yeah, it's a South Korean film.
Korean, yeah.
Yeah, it's a South Korean film. It is amazing. It bends so many genres. The story is absolutely incredible. But what I would like to win, since I know Parasite's not going to, is 1917.
Yeah.
I think 1917 for me was my movie of the year. 1917 is just incredible. It is a movie you have to see in the theaters.
Nice.
You do not want to watch it at home. I mean, you can, but it does not have the same feel in that movie.
Did they run that IMAX as well, I think?
Yeah.
Didn't they?
Yeah, and it is just amazing. The technical achievements, the acting, the cinematography, it's out of this world.
And that's your personal favorite?
Yeah, for the win. Yeah.
Cool.
I loved Jojo Rabbit. Jojo Rabbit was really, really good.
That's one that I really wanted to see, and I'll probably check it out.
It's out
at
now
another time,
on streaming. I think you have to buy it or rent it, but it's out now.
Yeah, it's a neat concept.
Yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it. Taika Waititi, I love Taika Waititi. He's one of the most groundbreaking directors right now. I mean, he just killed it with Thor Ragnarok. Incredible. He's going to be directing a Marvel Cinematic movie from here until the day he dies or until he says no, because he just blends so much.
Yeah.
But then he has this range to do stuff that he wants to do, like Jojo Rabbit. He wrote and directed Jojo Rabbit. It's based on a book.
Didn't he also play Hitler?
Yes, and he plays Hitler. And it is not a real Hitler. It is his imaginary friend, the main character's imaginary friend. So he's a quirky, goofy, screwball Hitler, and it works.
Hitler doesn't tend to get the the entertainment value that he should. Obviously, you got Schindler's List. Very deep, dark film. But, I mean, I don't know. Have you ever seen To Be or Not to Be?
No, I have not. No.
It's a great film.
Yeah.
To Be or Not to Be was an old Jack Benny movie, very old. And then Mel Brooks remade it, I want to say, in the 80s, and it was really funny. Very funny movie. I
do love my Mel Brooks, man.
The basis of it is a theater group during Hitler's power in Germany and what they went through. But it's hilarious. And, of course, the ultimate in Hitler comedy, in my opinion, is The Producers.
Yeah.
Springtime for Hitler.
Yeah.
Another Brooks.
Well, Jojo Rabbit rivals this.
Yeah.
You'll like it. You'll like it. You need to see it. It's good.
All right, let's go back to Parasite. You said was your
my personal
favorite.
I really liked it. I would love to see it win, but I don't think it's going to win.
I don't know anything about it other than that it was foreign language.
It's hard to talk about it without ruining it. We did review it in the pod.
No, everything's been out long enough that I'm not worried about spoilers.
Well, Parasite is now on Blu-ray, so you can rent it. Again, I loved it so much I actually went out and bought the Blu-ray. But it's basically a social class struggle movie about a family that literally is folding delivery pizza boxes to try and make money to live. And it's not like a young family. Like, the kids are probably teenagers, maybe college age. I think they're college age. They're young adults, parents, and they're living in a basement apartment that is absolute squalor, to say the least. I mean, like drunk people literally pee, and the pee runs into their apartment and stuff. And they find a way in to take advantage of an upper-class family, and eventually the whole family works for this upper-class family, doing everything. And it's interesting because it shows, there's not really villains in this movie. It's just a rich family where they're trying to do the best they can to take care of their family, and a poor family where they're trying to do the best they can to take care of their family. Yeah. And then there's a huge surprise about 3/4 of the way through that turns the entire movie on its head.
Interesting. Now, my thoughts when I first heard about it, just hearing the name, was that it was some type of a horror movie dealing with some sort of virus or bug.
That's exactly what Mike said. When I said, dude, you need to go watch this. We need to review this. Because they put it back in the theater. We didn't even get it here. It came out in November of last year. We didn't even get it in Prescott.
Yeah.
So when Harkins, God bless Harkins. Harkins puts all the Best Picture nominations in the theater, even in our Harkins here, and you can go watch them. Nice. And that's what I did. They only have like 2 showings of each one a day, but you can go and see them, and Parasite was one of them, so that is how I was able to go see it.
I'm chewing. You were supposed to talk longer.
Oh, sorry.
No, but you think
movies.
You think the foreign language aspect's going to hurt it?
Yeah, being again, I hate to say it's all old
So the
white people.
the best movie nobody
but-
ever saw.
Yeah, it's going to be it's 100% subtitled all the way through. It's all Korean actors. It's Korean director. It's just, and they did a really good job. I'm not saying it just because,
Nice.
I like the movie. Yes, I love the story. The story is the shining star of that movie.
Yeah.
But the acting was fantastic. Even the child actors that are in it. There's a couple child actors. They do very well.
Yeah. Cool. What else is on there? What do you think?
Ford versus Ferrari. I really like that movie.
I really wanted to see, and I'll probably watch it once it hits the streaming services.
That was a good one to see in the theaters because
Yeah.
the sound mixing was amazing on that.
Yeah.
Amazing. Cinematography, again, really, really good. I saw Little Women. A lot of people really, really, really like Little Women. I'm not a huge fan of the story to begin with. I think it's kind of dated.
So how many?
It was a nice twist on it.
How many versions of that have been made over the years? That's got to be the most.
I saw this the other day. There have been 5 versions in film.
That's all?
Film.
Yeah, that's
film.
all. I thought it would have been a lot more.
In TV, there's like 30.
Yeah. And contrary to popular opinion, it is not a female midget wrestling film that I thought it was. So I was really bored
Little
when
Women,
I saw it in
female
high
wrestling.
school. Yeah. When I saw it in high school, I was very bored. I was very disappointed.
He has way worse jokes than me, folks.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Give me, since I haven't seen any of these, I know a
It
little
is-
bit about what it is, but not all.
It was touted before it came out as the telling of the Charles Manson murders. It deals with the Charles Manson family and the Charles Manson murders, but not
like a
really.
side story?
It's more about Leonardo DiCaprio and Brad Pitt. Leonardo DiCaprio is a Western television actor / movie actor. I don't think he's in movies till later on in the film. I don't think he did before, but mostly television. And Brad Pitt is his stuntman.
Stunt double, yeah.
And he also happens to be his driver and his best friend. And so they hang out all the time because Leonardo DiCaprio's character is a drunk, can't drive, isn't allowed to drive. So Brad Pitt goes to his house, picks him up, and drives him around and takes him to stuff and all that. And Brad Pitt, out of the two, was way better than Leonardo DiCaprio.
Really?
DiCaprio did great, but Brad Pitt knocked it out of the park. And it's just kind of like a buddy hanging out movie.
Yeah.
And different things happen. It's really long.
Yeah.
But it was a good film. It's not my favorite Tarantino film, not at all. But it is a decent film if you have the time. I mean, it's almost 3 hours long. It's 2 hours and 40 minutes or something.
Which is like the first half of The Irishman.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah. The Irishman, man, that's another one. You know, it was a good film.
What was your take on that? Yeah,
I liked it. I think it's a good film, but I mean, my brother-in-law literally has watched it 11 times. He watched it 3 times in the first day it came out. This is an almost 3 hour long movie. That's 9 hours in one day of watching one movie. That's a lot. It's a great film. It's a totally different take on the gangster film.
I've heard it described as Goodfellas at the retirement center.
Yeah, it's Goodfellas, but it's more realistic Goodfellas, and it's De Niro's character is basically telling this story in his retirement home.
A series of flashbacks dealing with the Jimmy Hoffa time frame and all that. Yeah,
right, because he was basically Jimmy Hoffa's right-hand man at one point, De Niro's character in this film. And it's all these things that went on around it, and it's him telling someone, which we know as the guy that wrote the book that's I Paint Houses, that the film is based off of.
Yeah.
And it's interpreted as De Niro's telling this author this story before he writes the book. At least that's how I interpreted it. And it's a different take. It's interesting. I think it's more realistic. Casino's over the top. Goodfellas is over the top. My favorite Scorsese film is a toss-up. I really love The Departed, and I really love Goodfellas, and this movie is the exact opposite of both of those.
Really?
It is
what was the running time?
Dude, it's honestly almost 3 hours.
3 hours, yeah.
It's like 250 something.
What did that? Now they used some techniques to turn back the time clock?
Yeah, I watched the behind the scenes on this. They actually developed a system with
Yeah.
6 different cameras that they used to shoot it, and then they went in and digitally de-aged everyone.
Did that distract you at all? Or
Oh, yeah. The de-aging works well at some points. Sometimes it doesn't work well at all.
would you have rather seen them just casting younger guys to play the parts? Like, what comes to mind is, what was it, Space Cowboys? Remember that movie?
Yeah.
Where they just had
used
different actors.
I don't think that would have been a bad thing, but I don't know if it would have made it better or not because, I mean, it's still some of the best actors of our day. Pesci,
Yeah.
De Niro, and Pacino. I mean, they're amazing. Yeah, it's a little goofy when there's one scene in particular where De Niro is beating the out of a guy. Oh, I just sweared. Sorry.
Man, what do we... Here, hold on.
Write that down.
35-12.
Okay,
Filthy mouth Matt Hinshaw.
so De Niro is beating the poop out of a guy.
The poo.
Poop.
You could say Dookie. Dookie.
Poop. I'm going with poop. Because you can get that plosive pee. Poop. Anyway, so, and he's supposed to be probably in his 40s, maybe his early 50s, maybe. But it straight up looks like an 85-year-old man beating up a guy because it's him acting.
Yeah.
But the CGI makes him look younger. It does not work.
Doesn't work well.
Not
with
for
you.
me.
Were you able to just kind of get lost in it though at most points? Okay.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
it was too
It was
distracting.
believable. It wasn't horrible. I've seen a lot worse.
It probably would have maybe even been more distracting because De Niro's face is so iconic. Pesci is. If they had a different actor playing him at this stage in their careers, you know.
Yeah. You just get confused.
Late 70s, early 80s, when they're not as entrenched in our history, you know, you swap an actor like that. But right now, with them being so on the forefront of pop culture and films and everything else, it might have been distracting to have another face in that character.
I mean, especially Pesci. I mean, they pulled him out of it took a while of Scorsese convincing him to come out of retirement to do this film, but he did it.
Yeah.
I would love to see him win, the Academy, but he's up against his co-star.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that'll happen or not. He's up against Al Pacino.
Nice.
And then there's a lot of other people in supporting that are very good.
Yeah.
So
Interesting.
We'll see.
Okay, so your pick for you would be Parasite.
yeah,
But,
but
that's
I also
that's your favorite.
I would like to see Parasite, but I like 1917 as well. If I had to pick one, I'd probably go 1917.
I'm not saying which one do you think will do. I'm saying if it's up to you to decide. Matt Hinshaw
if
gets
it was
to
me
decide.
100%, I'd go Parasite just
Gotcha.
because it
Okay.
was so unique.
But your
So
prediction
unique.
would be
My prediction is Once Upon a Time.
Once Upon a Time.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Once Upon a Time or Joker. I think Once Upon a Time has it though
Yeah.
over
Nice.
Joker.
It'll be interesting. I think there's a big field in it and a lot of strong contenders. That's nice. That's nice. Now,
Oh, another one I watched it just the other day on another Netflix film was Marriage Story.
I don't know that one. I don't know any of these.
I
I've
don't
heard
recommend
of most
it.
of these.
I don't recommend it at all. It's not a bad movie. It's actually
and that's
pretty
one
well
of the
done.
Contenders?
Yes, I think it's for Best Picture. Yeah, it has to be for Best Picture. It's another film that has Scarlett Johansson. She is double because she's in Jojo Rabbit.
Why don't you recommend it?
It's depressing. It's called Marriage Story, but it should be called Divorce Story because it's horrible. It's so rough. It's so rough to watch.
Well, with his drinking problem and all his other issues, we don't encourage him to watch depressing movies anyway.
Well, and I own firearms.
Yeah. What have you done? Do you have anything squirreled away that your mom can find, for when you go? Because I've really got my eye on that lens, that 2.8. So
Which one? I got two.
no, the one the 24/7.
The 24 to 70?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
I'll leave it to you.
Let her know. Let her know.
No problem.
And then go watch that movie 3 or 4 times. And because I
Well,
I got to shoot next week that I really need that lens for.
But I'm not married, so it doesn't, Wow. Well, at least we know why he's friends with me, to use me for my lens.
Friends is a strong word. Friends is a
Fair
strong
enough.
word.
Acquaintances. Podcast host when all your other friends don't like you and want to talk
I
to
don't have any friends.
Well, yeah, your son doesn't even like you.
No, he's the only one that does. But, he's 10 years old, still lives with his parents. What does he know? You leaving, Jimmy? Oh, come here, Jimmy. What do you got? This is going out like tonight or tomorrow. So Jim Sobo, frequent host of this show, is standing here. No, right here. What's the show coming up? Plug the show here.
February 21st, which is a Friday, with Tommy Anderson and... No. Oh, dear God. See? This is what...
The poster's right there.
Is it? Okay.
Man.
Rosemary Tracy.
Oh, yeah. They were they on the last one?
A few ago, yeah.
Or was she with Pat?
It was, I think, like three years ago, yeah.
Where did they find out info?
At howlingcoyotetour.com. Thank you so much.
All right, Jimmy. Don't flip me off. Don't flip me off. This is a family show. Filthy, filthy musician. Man.
Has he been hanging with me too much?
I just gave you... I was giving you a chance to eat your sandwich.
Eat my sandwich? Well, thanks. It's nice and cold now.
No, there ain't nothing wrong with cold barbecue. I love cold barbecue. Keep chewing. It's all right.
I thought you were going to talk about give a plug for Big Daddy E's.
Oh, I'll do that in the intro. I don't like doing that when the bartender's standing right over here. She's got silverware down there. She might chuck it at my head. It's pretty bad. If Sean was back there, I wouldn't make fun of him either. Because even with this bum leg, I'm pretty sure he could still outrun me.
Fair enough.
I think so.
I would take bets on that race.
You get 3 steps in and have a heart attack?
Yeah.
It's fine.
What did I say last? What was it? Drinking way too much coffee. I knew it was a problem when my heart started sweating.
It's bad.
All right, so your pick is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Your personal favorite, Parasite, and the other front runner that has in your opinion, a better chance would be 1917.
I would like to see 1917
give me the
if I had
gist
to.
of
Those are my 2
1917.
favorite.
Because I was very young at that time when 1917 came around.
Well, World War I. Trench warfare. It's a couple guys that are going on a journey to try and relay a message from one line to another to try and stop an assault. And time is of the essence. And what makes it incredible, other than the acting and the sets and the story, was that they did one shot. I don't know if you ever watched Birdman with Michael Keaton. Birdman was completely one shot. Well, Sam Mendes did this film completely with one shot, and Roger Deakins was his cinematographer. Roger Deakins, in my opinion, one of the best cinematographers working today. He did Blade Runner 2049. That's the one he won an Academy Award for finally after being nominated like 20 times. But just phenomenal cinematographer. And it follows these guys from the start of the film to the finish with there's clearly cuts, but no big cuts that you notice.
So the goal of the cinematographer, the goal of the director, was to make it look like one seamless shot from credit to credit.
Yep.
And to get that look, obviously you're saying there are cuts, obviously with retakes.
There's some here and there, but what's interesting is when they were shooting it, I've watched a few behind the scenes on this. Each scene they shot between 20 and 40 times.
Wow.
And so this took a while. There is digital used in it in some spots, but you really can't tell much. It was just an incredible, incredible achievement. One thing that I found interesting, being a photographer, you might find it interesting too. They purposely had to wait until it was overcast because they were trying to keep the light consistent. They didn't bring any lights, nothing. They used all natural light, but they always wanted to overcast so that it was consistent across the board, which makes sense.
Now, there was some, and I'm trying to rack my brain here. There's a couple of older films I'm thinking, from the 40s, late 40s, early 50s.
So when you were growing up,
a couple noir movies where they did that look, where they wanted it to look like a longer shot. Yeah. Orson Welles did that in a couple of his films. So what they would do is pan the camera like behind somebody, and then they would insert their cut as the camera went to a head or a wall or something. So they have a spot, but you could kind of tell where that would happen.
If you pay attention in 1917, on my second viewing of it, I could tell where certain cuts did take place like that. There's one scene that it's a cut. One of the characters gets knocked out cold, and it cuts to black, and then it comes back up. That for sure was a cut, obviously, because it also transitions from day to night there.
But that's a neat concept and a neat thing to have to really keep you in the story, keep you in the moment.
Yeah, I really liked it.
Nice.
It was a very good movie.
If you don't really pay attention to any film, even TV stuff, you don't notice the scenes because you're involved in the scene, and when they cut from one person to another in dialogue, it's almost seamless because the story's putting you through. You don't pay it, but if you sit and pay attention and watch for the cuts, what's the average in a film? It's like 8 seconds, 10 seconds, something like that.
At least.
They're very short.
Yeah.
Is what I was getting at. And, if you think about it, every once in a while,
always cutting.
Every once in a while, you'll hear something when you're listening to a podcast or reading an article on a filmmaker, and they'll talk about a long tracking shot. It was 90 seconds. And I remember when I first heard things like that, I thought, well, 90 seconds, that's not long. That can't be that odd. Then you watch a movie and go, oh, they just cut between two guys 3 times in a 30-second conversation.
Yeah.
And you don't notice it because you're listening to the dialogue, you're watching the scene, you're doing. But if you sit and pay attention, there are seconds, 5, 6, 10, 12 seconds.
Well, but it's supposed to fade away like that. That's how you know the cuts and the editing were good.
Yeah.
When they don't fade away like that and it takes you out of the story and out of the scene, then you know the editing was real bad.
But the idea of doing those long, seamless.
Yeah, the one shots.
The one shots. I was trying to think of what you called it. Yeah, the one shots. That's a real neat, a real neat technique, and it's interesting to see.
Oh, and one of the ways they were able to do it with 1917 is because the camera technology.
Nice.
The camera technology is just skyrocketed in the past few years, especially for film.
Scorsese was known for a lot of that stuff with the overhead, the crane shots through the kitchen in Goodfellas. I remember that was one.
Right. Well,
didn't they do something like that in Irishman, like through the?
Oh yeah.
Like the intro scene, wasn't it? I was listening to a podcast on that.
Oh, I'm trying to remember the intro.
I think it's the intro of him at going to the. What it was is Terry Gross on Fresh Air was interviewing Scorsese, and they were talking about the comparison. He intentionally shot it that way. The upcoming Henry Hill in Goodfellas, as he was introducing his soon-to-be wife on their date through the restaurant, bar, nightclub, kitchen area.
Yeah.
And that
was an amazing shot.
He did the exact same thing to open Irishman, of the showing the coming into the life, going away from the life. And it was the scene.
So it was the scene
of
the nursing home.
Of the nursing home, yeah.
I see
and
it
he
now,
did that intentionally to show, in one aspect, in one film, it was the guy rising up in the lifestyle, and in the other one, it was the waning years of him leaving the lifestyle. Not the same character, obviously, but the same feel.
The same feel, yeah.
Yeah, and he's known for that as well.
But in 1917, they used a lot of handheld cameras.
Yeah.
Not so much handheld, but they were on dollies and cranes, and they developed their own systems to continue the shot where they would follow the actors and then it seamlessly hook the same camera onto like a crane that would pull it up and over. It was it was wild. And the way they were able to do it is because these super advanced red film cameras and things are smaller. They're still big by what you and I use.
I got to use a red last summer at a
you?
shoot. It was pretty cool.
Oh, man. But I don't know if it was a red or what. I think it was something in that vein. But, I mean, just incredible. And that was the way they were able to do it. Because they had 6 or 7 of them.
I think that movie that I haven't seen, but I will comment and give my opinion on it anyway, I think it would be more impactful if they actually did it. And we live in Prescott, where there's a big community that does reenactments, and period costumes and things where they're very specific. You cannot wear something of it. It could be an inside button on a vest, but it has to be authentic from the 1800s or something like. They get real particular on things like that. I think had they made that movie only using 1917 technology, it would have been even more impressive.
Oh, yeah.
I think it would have. Of course, it would help if it's a talkie, so that
Well, and
no lighting, just flash powder.
and to talk about that, if you want an interesting companion piece to go with it, Peter Jackson, known from the Lord of the Rings and Hobbit series of films,
Okay.
made a lot of money, did a passion project of his, which was a documentary on World War I called They Will Never Grow Old. And it came out in the theaters very, very limited. I did not get a chance to see it, but it is currently on HBO. And it's 100% from the voices of people that fought in World War I. It's 100% the clips from World War I. And remember, World War I, electricity was barely created by then, let alone having a camera. And a video camera. Edison had his going, and that's pretty much what they were using. And he was able to develop, I think it's an hour and 30 or 40 minutes documentary on They Will Never Grow Old. And it goes along with this film perfectly.
Oh, nice. Nice. Okay. Now, what was the contender or not contender? Just film that you've seen of your 130-some that you saw in 2019. What was the biggest shocker to you that you went in not expecting much and were blown away with what came out of it? Any film, TV, old, new.
If you're going 2019 or if you're going like in my year, because we're getting ready to do my awards on Real Film Nerds. We're slacking. We're actually supposed to do it next week, but Mike is a little bit preoccupied, and so am I. Because Valentine's Day is our anniversary, and we always do the Poindexter Awards, which is like our Oscars of favorite movie of the year and things like that. So I'm going to go with, on my timetable, instead of just 2019, I'm going to go all the way to right now. Okay. And this movie shocked the hell out of me was Bad Boys 3. I thought it was going to be pure trash.
I was going to see that, but I haven't seen either 1 or 2, and I figured I'd be lost.
You maybe would, maybe you wouldn't. But
I had no desire to see that.
I thought it was going to be just pure trash. I had no desire to see it either. Mike and I were just going to go because it's a big franchise.
Yeah.
And they literally have not done the sequel in almost 20 years.
Yeah.
So we were like, well, this will be something.
There might be a reason for that.
And honestly, it was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. A whole lot better. It was shockingly good.
What was one that you were expecting great things for and walked away going, I want my $11 back or whatever? Or your hour and a half back or 2 hours?
Oh, jeez. Oh, man. Off the top of my head, I'd have to think about that. There's nothing that sticks out like Mortal Engines. Like last year, 2018 was Mortal Engines. It was so bad. I was so looking forward to that. Don't.
But nothing, no real stinkers?
Nothing that just like sticks out. I'm sure. I know I have some. I know I do. I just can't think of any.
What was the funnest movie? Because sometimes movies can be not very good, but you walk away going, hey, that was a lot of fun. What was a good fun movie for you?
You're going to hate me. But, I liked Star Wars. I liked Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. Yeah.
Is that the most recent one?
Yeah.
I had a great nap.
Yeah, I know. I'm sure you did. It's not the best Star Wars movie ever.
But you liked it?
I enjoyed it. It was fun.
Fair
It was
enough.
a lot of fan service.
And that's what those movies are for.
Yeah.
That's the original one.
Oh, you know what? All right.
They're meant to be fun.
You know one I really, really, really probably enjoyed more than Star Wars was Avengers Endgame. That movie was...
Still haven't made it through that.
Man, that was amazing.
Still haven't made it through it.
Really liked it.
I made it through about 10 minutes the first time I sat down for it, about a half hour the second time, then about 45, and I just can't, it's not
You
grabbing
can't do
me.
superheroes, yeah.
No, I like superhero movies. I just can't, I don't know, something about that.
I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved Endgame. I thought it was so
one
good.
of my favorite ones, and I don't know where this ranks on the nerd scale, the real film nerd scale type things, or on the hardcore, because I don't have that comic book universe tie-in. I never read them as kids, so I don't have that. that route that really
You know
pulls
what?
you in, kind of like Star Wars. I don't
Most
have
people-
the original Star Wars anchoring me because I didn't see it until I was much older than most kids.
Most people that watch and love the Marvel
Yeah.
Cinematic Universe didn't read the comic books either.
No, but I'm just saying I don't have any. I don't have, so I go in not knowing or expecting anything from it. Sometimes I love them, sometimes I don't. The Iron Man, especially 1, was one of my favorite movies. I love that movie. It was great. It was exciting. Tony Stark character, Robert Downey Jr. was
John Favreau, man.
Yeah, it was
at
a
his
great-
best.
a great character, hilarious. I really like him, I like his character in the movies. But one of my favorites was, and I don't know how it holds up because I haven't seen it in a couple of years, but I saw it several times and enjoyed it, was Captain America: The First Avenger. Or is that what it was called?
Yeah, the first one.
I love that. So, and I like it because it had the backstory and it had, it was just kind of a neat. It was. I really enjoyed it. I thought that was fantastic.
No, I think that's a very good film as
Yeah.
well. Of the Captain America films, actually, my favorite MCU movie overall is Captain America: Winter Soldier. I loved
Yeah.
Winter Soldier. It was a good standalone movie on its
Yeah.
own.
I don't know. Just didn't grab me. You know what I saw the other night, last night, while I actually put my laptop away because I was getting more involved in the movie than I was in the work I was doing on the computer, was North by Northwest.
Nice.
That was a fantastic. I love that movie. That's probably the 50th time I've seen that movie.
This
love
week.
it. Every single time I see it. I haven't seen it in a few years, a couple years at least. Love that movie. Absolutely love it. Love that film. What else? What else did I watch recently? Watched one of the Thin Man movies. I don't remember which one. Yeah, I don't know if you've ever seen those. They're great, from the 30s and 40s. But what else? I started watching with Anthony, and now I don't remember what it was. Oh, well, doesn't matter. It was an oldie on TCM, Turner Classic Movies. One of my favorite apps on my tablet.
Yeah, I was going to say, I could see you having a subscription to that for sure.
Well, I don't, but somebody does. Somebody does.
I might know that somebody.
I did get a recent Disney Plus subscription. Again, not mine, but somebody's. And I will be diving into that soon. I just got it the other day. I haven't even logged in yet.
Mandalorian.
That's what I was going to say. That, which is the reason it was given to me. It's a company account type thing. So it's like it's got a multi. I don't know how they do that, but
Mandalorian, really good.
I've heard. You know why I've heard? Several people have told me, because knowing not, and this is no secret to anybody that's listening to these podcasts, and definitely not to Hinshaw, I'm not a Star Wars fan. I enjoy the movies for the most part. I like them. They're interesting. I love sitting and watching them with my son because he loves them. But I can take them or leave them. They're good stories. They're fun. They're fun to watch. I like Solo a lot, which I know wasn't extremely popular, but I liked it. I thought
Solo was good.
I thought it
Yeah.
was fun, and I liked the character of Han Solo. Is probably my favorite. But people tell me, we know you don't like Star Wars. You are going to love Mandalorian. And I want to watch it because it was described to me as a Western.
It kind of is. It's
the traditional story. Is it?
I don't remember the show. There's an older Western. I don't remember what it is, but it's very similar to the Mandalorian, where there's a outlaw and a young child, and that's basically, I don't remember what it's called. You might know. Rifleman? Is that what it is?
Chuck Connors and his son.
So, well, it's not his son, but this is a young kid and this outlaw, and yeah, it's very, very, very similar to that.
I love stories, and I love characters, and I don't care if the characters are flawed. I will sit through a junk movie if I get invested in a character. One of the characters. It doesn't even have to be the main character. It doesn't have to be the lead. But what really throws me out of films is when I can't stand the characters. Even if it's a villain, even if it's a treacherous person, if they hold my interest, I love them. But a lot of times, or I've sat through movies and turned off a lot of movies where the characters are just either boring or they're so annoying that I know in real life I wouldn't spend 5 minutes with this person without slapping them across the face. That's when I can't get invested in a movie if I can't. And quite frankly, and we've talked about this before,
I would love to know.
Luke Skywalker.
Yeah,
The
he's
whiniest
whiny
kid.
little kid, yeah.
The only saving grace of the first 3 movies that came out in the 70s and 80s was Han Solo to me. I liked his character. He was fun to watch. But Skywalker was just such a whiny punk of a kid. I couldn't get
he's
in-
supposed to be a whiny teenager.
I know, but I couldn't get past that. It was like I wouldn't spend. There's some villains that are so horrible. I would love to sit at a bar and watch in real life. I always go, okay, what would this be in real life? That's somebody I would watch on the news when they got arrested. That's somebody I would watch from across the bar to see what they're going to do. They've got my interest. If I wouldn't spend 5 minutes with somebody in real life, I don't want to spend 90 minutes watching them on screen. I just can't do it. I can't do it.
But they're characters. They're not real life either.
No,
so.
but that's what I'm saying. But I'm still sitting there. I'm going to invest my hour and a half to sit and watch that person, that character go through something. If I don't care what happens to them in 10 minutes, why would I care what's going to happen to them on the film? That's the thing. Now, having said that, there are great movies with horrible characters, but there's somebody else that will keep me in it. There's another character, another actor, another storyline that'll keep me. But sometimes, especially TV, I really wanted to lie, and I'm not going to say what it is because honestly I don't remember. Something on Hulu. It was a new, mid-season show that was, I can't remember what it was now. Anyway, didn't care about anybody on the show. Sat through 3 episodes, and I was like, I can't do it. I can't watch this. I don't want to spend time watching these people because I don't care what's going to happen to them at the end of the day.
Well, and you watch a lot more TV than I do.
Yeah.
I watch some sparingly, but probably not as much as you do. But
No, I'm still working on those chips.
But there is a lot of times you do have to have characters that you love to hate. And they're annoying, and they're supposed to be that way because you're supposed to hate them.
I don't mind the hating because now I'm invested in them. I want to see them either lose, or I want to see them defeated, or I want to see what happens to them but there's some that I just don't want to be around. It's like, why would I want to sit and watch this person? It's the same thing, flip it back to real life. If there's somebody that's so annoying, I don't care if they lose their job, if they lose their job or get run over by a
You're
truck.
so kind.
Yeah.
Now I know why we're not friends. It all
But
makes sense
yeah,
now.
there's
Full
just some that I
circle.
know. Okay, let's wrap this up because
It's
I want to
full
finish my
circle
chips.
now.
So
You got that coleslaw to eat too.
that's yours.
I gave it to you.
So I didn't know that. So we've done this on some of the podcasts of recent months, but we've already done it with you as far as if the questions on what they were gonna, what they would. If they were making a movie about you, who would play you, what kind of film it would be. We already did that with you. So I'm going to take any of the movies that you've seen this year. Any of the movies that you've seen. You get to be a character in it. Which movie? Is it an existing character, or would you be a new original character added to that movie? So first off, what movie would you like to be in?
I want to be in Star Wars, so I'm going to leave that out because that's a cop-out because I'll always want to be in that. I'll go with gosh, this is a hard one because there's a lot. I want to say Endgame, but that's a big blockbuster kind of thing, and that'd be real easy because I think being Deadpool popping up in the middle of the Endgame would be just amazing because it's all serious, and here Deadpool pops up and cracks a horrible joke. So I'll go with that, and maybe Us. I don't know if you know much about Us. It's a horror movie.
Nope.
I would pop up in Us and just ruin the whole thing, spoil the whole thing right from the start and save everybody.
You should be in 1917. I just want to see you in that World War I outfit with the knickers.
Yeah, watch me get shot, die in trench warfare.
I would want to be, again,
Well, you haven't seen any movies, so you can't do
I've
anything.
seen a bunch of movies, just none that are on this list. But where would I like to be in a movie?
I'm ready for a fade, man. Into this big-ass parade.
Huh, interesting. I can't remember the name of it now, and since we don't have Mark's Wi-Fi, yeah, he'll take another one. It was a Jimmy Cagney movie, and I'll put it in the intro
I don't
or
think
outro.
that came out this year.
No, I said, which ones have you seen this year? And I saw that this year. That's what I said, because I haven't seen any of the new ones.
All right, I'm going with Zombieland 2.
But it's a movie that takes place in a bar in San Francisco in the 30s. And it's just about the people that come in and out of the bar. I've got it at home. That's where I watch it. I just can't remember the name of it. I want to say, I don't even remember. I'll put it. I'll find it and put it in the intro or the outro. But it's just about this bar, and Cagney kind of he's not a gangster like in a lot of his movies. He's just kind of the guy hanging out in the bar that everybody comes to for advice, and he kind of runs his little group of friends. And I remember seeing it as a little kid, going, I want to hang out in bars because that looked like fun. And then I watched it again 6-7 months ago. But I want to be in that because it was a San Francisco bar in the 30s that wasn't the nicest of places. It was a little bar and grill, but a good group of folks hung out there, and I want to be the bartender. That's what I want to be, the guy that played the bartender.
You always want to be in a bar, though. Like, that's like your thing. Like,
even when I'm not drinking.
I imagine when you die, your heaven is just going to be you sitting at the scuzziest dive bar you've ever been at.
No, that closed.
Drinking a Coke.
Okay.
Drinking a Coke, not a Jack and Coke, just a regular Coke.
All right, Maddie, give it again. Wrap it up. You think it's going to be Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
Joker or Once Upon a Time in Hollywood will probably win. I would like to see 1917 win. I would really love to see Parasite, but I know that's not happening, so I'm personally pulling for 1917.
All right. Well, let's wrap it up. Thanks, Marks, for letting us hang out at Mark's Beer Garden. Go ahead. Real Film Nerds.
Real Film Nerds everywhere. Internets, YouTubes, social medias, Instagrams, Twitters, and Real Film Nerds.
And Monday mornings on Magic 99 with Lisa in the morning.
Lisa live and local. Yeah. That's always fun. She's now the announcer at the Northern Arizona Suns. Yeah.
All right, thanks for tuning in, folks. This was 223. We'll be back at you soon with some funness.
Mr. Projectionist, stop the show. Here's great news you ought to know. We've just got a shipment of taste-thrilled treats, all tip-top quality and delicious eats. There are hot dogs and popcorn and candy galore. There's soft drinks and coffee and a whole lot more. So direct your steps to our refreshment stand to enjoy the finest snacks in all the land.